Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we will be discussing the very important genus, the genus Entamoeba. The genus Entamoeba has three species, the Entamoeba histolytica, the Entamoeba coli, and the Entamoeba gingivalis. First of all, I would like to discuss about the important species, the Entamoeba histolytica. So its geographical distribution is worldwide, but it is common in the tropical and subtropical areas. The habitat of the Entamoeba histolytica is that the vegetative form is present within the large intestine in the mucosal and the submucosal layer, while the cystic form lives in the lumen of the large intestine. Now about the morphology. The Entamoeba histolytica has two forms, the trophozoite form and the cystic form. So the trophozoite form has basically the amoeboid shape and it is approximately 15 to 13 micrometers in diameter. It has a single central nucleus with a small central nucleolus that is referred to as the karyosome. The nuclear chromatin in the trophozoite form is evenly distributed. It is finely granular and is present along the periphery of the nucleus. The ectoplasm of the trophozoite also contains the ingested erythrocytes or the RBCs. The trophozoite does not possess any definite shape because it is continuously throwing pseudopods that are the food processes in different directions. This is the structure of the trophozoite of Entamoeba histolytica, showing the karyosome, the central nucleolus, the nuclear, this is the electronic micrograph of the trophozoite form, showing the again the nucleus, the central nucleolus, and the ingested erythrocyte in the last photo. This is again the electron microscopic picture of the amoebic trophozoite. Now the cystic form. The cyst of the Entamoeba histolytica is spherical in shape with 4 nuclei. This is the structure of the mature cyst. The immature cyst has one nucleus, that is, it is uninucleate, but soon as the cyst matures, it divides by binary fission and develops into the mature cyst showing 4 nuclei. However, in the early stages of development, the cyst in immature form possess two types of structures, the chromatoid bodies and the glycogen mass. The chromatoid bodies are the refractile bars with rounded edges and they occupy approximately 2/3 of the diameter of the cyst. The glycogen mass on the other hand is a rounded structure with stains brown with iodine. So as the cyst matures, these structures disappear gradually. This is the structure of the cyst of the Entamoeba. This is the electron microscopic picture of the Entamoeba histolytica cyst. Now coming to the life cycle of the Entamoeba histolytica, the infection begins through transmission of the Entamoeba histolytica cyst through the fecal-oral route into the humans. So the cyst is resistant to the gastric environment, so it directly passes into the small intestine where it undergoes excistation. So it divides here by binary fission into 8 amoeba which are actively motile and move to the large intestine where it produces the characteristic lesion. However, in some organisms, if the infection is not high, this cyst the trophozoite form undergoes encystation again and is transmitted through the feces again outside the human body. However, some of these amoeba may attach to the mucosal tissue to form the flask-shaped ulcers. There are no intermediate or the reservoir host. This is the life cycle of the Entamoeba histolytica, the ingestion of cysts through the fecal-oral route, then their excitation in the small intestine, the division of the quadrinucleate cyst into 4 and then 8 trophozoites. Then the trophozoites move to colonize the colon, then their encystation. And so this is the life cycle of the Entamoeba histolytica, again showing the mature cysts that are transmitted through the oral route into the human body, where they are transmitted through the small intestine and ultimately into the large intestine, where afterwards producing infection in different organs, the cysts are again. Now the pathogenicity of Entamoeba histolytica, all the characteristic conditions that the Entamoeba histolytica cause in the human body are referred to as the amoebiasis. So there are two types of lesion, the primary lesions which are primarily affecting the intestine of the human, and the secondary lesion that are infecting the liver, lungs and brain. So the primary infection first of all is the infection of the Entamoeba histolytica that occurs after ingestion of the mature cyst. So after excistation, the trophozoites that are formed from the cyst migrate into the large intestine, and there they bury themselves in the crypts of liber colon. So this is the photomicrograph of the small and the large intestine and their comparison, that the small intestine show the intestinal villi. However, there is lack of villi within the large intestine, so the trophozoites basically bury within the crypts of the large intestine. The pathogenicity, how they cause the intestinal lesions, they basically release the certain enzymes and toxins, the cystine proteinases, that along with pressure damage the mucosal layer on the muscularis mucosa, causing abrasions which bleed. So the liberated toxins lead to the amoebic dysentery, which is the foul smelling passage of stools along with blood and mucus with abdominal pain. With the help of toxins and the proteolytic enzyme, they also penetrate into the submucosal layer of the large intestine, where they damage the surrounding structure and lead to the characteristic flask-shaped ulcer, because on cross-section they appear as the shape of the flask. These flask-shaped ulcers are also referred to as the bomb craters. This is the gross photomicrograph of the large intestine showing the amoeba and the characteristic lesions that they produce within the large. This is again the gross photomicrograph of the characteristic flask-shaped ulcer. Then when the conditions are not favorable for the parasites, they are discharged into the lumen of the large intestine, where encystation takes place, and they change into the cystic form and give rise to the chronic stage of infection. The cysts are then passed in the stool. The complication of the Entamoeba, the acute complications are the frequent dysentery with colicky abdominal pain, and chronic infection basically is the recurrent episodes of diarrhea, the dysentery, along with the presence of ulcers, the stricture, the pseudopolyps and perforation that occurs in response to the inflammatory response by the host, and the characteristic granulomatous lesion, the amoebomas, that are formed in different organs of the body. The secondary infection are the sites where the trophozoites migrate and produce lesions. These are the liver, lungs, brain, skin and spleen. So the organisms in where the liver, lung, brain and spleen, where they produce abscesses leading to amoebic liver abscesses, the pneumonitis and the encephalitis. Now coming to the liver lesions, during the primary infection, the trophozoites through the submucosal blood vessels penetrate the portal circulation, and through the portal circulation they reach the liver. Thereby they release certain toxins and cytolytic enzymes that may produce the characteristic amoebic abscesses in the liver. This is the gross photomicrograph of the amoebic liver abscess. Then in the lungs, some trophozoites that escape the liver through the right side of the heart, they ultimately reach the pulmonary circulation, and through where they reach the lungs, leading to the characteristic lesions. And some of the amoebic trophozoites escape through the systemic circulation into the brain, leading to the brain abscesses and ultimately the inflammation of the meninges, leading to encephalitis and meningitis. Then in the skin, the characteristic granulomatous amoebomas or the ulceration of the skin occurs. And in the urogenital tract, they lead to cystitis and urethritis through the rectovesical and the rectovaginal fistulas. Now coming to the diagnosis of Entamoeba histolytica. In the lab, the characteristic pattern of diagnosis of amoebiasis is the finding the cyst and the trophozoites in the stool, basically the stool examination, and the stool examination should be done within 15 minutes because trophozoites containing RBCs can be seen in the slides prepared within 15 minutes of the passage of stools or the stools that are preserved in polyvinyl alcohol or the merthiolate iodine formalin. Then the second method of diagnosis is the aspirate of the liver abscesses. The Entamoeba histolytica infection is distinguished from bacillary dysentery by the lack of high fever and the lack of leukocytosis. Now the histopathology, the biopsies that are obtained through sigmoidoscopy show the characteristic flask-shaped ulcer as I have demonstrated in the figure below. Then the culture, the amoeba can be cultured in the Dobell's biphasic and the Cleveland Collier medias. And through serology, they can be diagnosed through the latest agglutination test and the ELISA test. The treatment, the amoebiasis can be treated with the metronidazole or the flagyl. It is the drug of choice for symptomatic and chronic amoebiasis, including the extraintestinal disease. Now coming to the second species, the Entamoeba coli, the geographical distribution is worldwide and the habitat is the same, that is the lumen of the large intestine. The morphology of Entamoeba coli and the Entamoeba histolytica are different. The trophozoite form of Entamoeba coli does not contain the ingested erythrocyte, it contains the food vacuoles. Moreover, the karyosome is eccentrically placed within the nucleus and the chromatin is coarse. While the difference between the cyst of the Entamoeba coli and the Entamoeba histolytica is that the cyst of the Entamoeba coli has 8 nuclei, and in immature cysts, the chromatoid bodies in Entamoeba coli possess splintered edges, whereas the chromatoid bodies of Entamoeba histolytica have characteristic rounded edges. This is a gross photomicrograph of Entamoeba coli, showing the mature cyst with 8 nuclei and the trophozoite form with eccentric nucleus. Now the life cycle, they remain in the lumen of the large intestine, and during excistation the amoeba does not undergo any multiplication. On the contrary, the original 8 nuclei may be diminished by many as 4. The pathogenicity is that they live as harmless commensals, and the methods of diagnosis are the same as that of Entamoeba histolytica. Thank you so much for patient listening.